Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you were new here, my name is Lexi. Thank you for joining me in today's video. So if you have not caught on by the title, you guys, I have a lot to update you on. It has not been that long since I put up my last video, which was basically I showed you guys kind of a little sneak peek and a glimpse into my start in searching for a condo. So I've been telling you guys I was going to take you through the journey of me buying my first home or condo. I have been renting up until this point, and I am going to be a first time homeowner, and I'm really excited. I'm very scared, but not scared in a bad way. Like, not that I'm scared because I'm getting myself into something I shouldn't, but more so just scared because like it's new. I've never done this before. So I have a lot to update you guys on because since my last video, I actually put an offer in on a place and it got accepted. The first offer got accepted. We actually offered lower than the asking price, which was really awesome because they had recently just dropped the price a bit, like a good bit. So we offered below that. I say we as in my realtor, and we got it. My realtor was honestly, he said he was very surprised that they accepted. So yeah, so I am starting the process now of closing on my apartment. It is officially, I guess, under contract, if that's the right term. So basically, I'll kind of talk to you guys about, before I reveal the place that I chose, I will talk to you guys about what I guess that looks like. So I'm not going to claim to be an expert by any means, but my realtor sent me an email the other day, basically just kind of listing out these certain dates of certain things I have to get done by certain dates. So I have to go and get a deposit check, so that way I can deliver that to the title company. I have to do that pretty soon. I have like 3 days to do that. And then I also have to get an inspection done within 7 days. So have to plan that, which will happen here very soon. And then tentatively, if all things go according to plan, I will be closing on my place around August 15th. So that's really exciting, which that is a little over a month away. So yay for that. My closing date is actually really perfect because the lease of my current apartment ends on the 31st. So from like, if everything goes according to plan, I'll have about 15 days in between to like just get my stuff out of my apartment. So that's really nice. I won't have this like really quick timeline of like, I have to be out of my apartment, and then, you know, like it'll be nice to just kind of slowly take things to my new place. And I've gotten a lot of questions. I'm not going to obviously disclose like where I'm going to be living, but I've gotten a lot of questions of like, am I moving far? And you guys, I can literally walk to my new place. So that's really nice too. So I also want to, before I kind of get into revealing the place that I chose, kind of talk a little bit too about like buying a condo, because I know I've had some people, I mean, I know everybody's always going to have an opinion, and I'm not, you know, I appreciate people's opinions, but I'm not obviously like looking for too many, you know, outside opinions. But I've had a couple people and they're like, why are you buying a condo? You know, buy a house. And guys, believe me, I have thought long and hard about this. But for me personally, a condo just makes the most sense because the place I have wanted to buy in for the past several years, which is where I live, there really are not any homes. I mean, there are homes in the surrounding areas, but they are kind of in these, like, I would say, somewhat sketchy areas, if that makes sense. And safety is very important for me, especially as a female living alone. And then second off, I live in Florida, and every year we unfortunately usually get at least 1 or 2 hurricane scares. Last year we got 2 pretty heavy hitting hurricanes, and I don't want to have to worry about having to prep my home for a hurricane and like board things up and be all anxious and stressed that my home could be damaged. Like, it is very nice and comforting for me to know I'm going to be in a condo. I am high enough up. I literally won't have to do anything anytime a hurricane comes. Literally, I just have to take myself and leave. So that is very comforting for me. And then also, not to mention, I am not a handy woman by any means. And it is going to be nice for me not to have to stress about like doing any external work on the house or lawn care stuff. And honestly, just from a safety aspect, for me, a condo is very comforting knowing like my door doesn't literally open to the street. So that's really nice for me as well. So anyways, now without further ado, let me basically share with you guys what place I ended up choosing. All right, so I showed you guys I showed you guys 3 different places in the last video, and actually the place I chose was one of those places. So I ended up going and looking at a couple of more units 2 days later, and I actually brought my mom along with me, just to get a second opinion, and the validation is always nice. And the place I ended up choosing is by far the best investment property and the best investment potential, which, it is important for me to think about that because I probably do want to rent out this space eventually. So that was important, but also I always hear people say, like, you're gonna know when you step into a house, like, or a condo, if it's like, if it's meant to be, like, you're gonna feel that just like home feeling. And I feel like I didn't feel that with a lot of the places that I toured, and I was kind of like almost trying to force certain places to feel homey when like they weren't. But this particular condo, especially when I went to visit it the second time with my mom, just had this like home feeling to it, where I could see myself living in it. So drum roll. So the place I chose was the place with the floor to ceiling windows. I will input some clips here so you guys can see just the place. So I'll get some more footage of it likely later on when I'm gonna go back in a couple days for the inspection to be there when they do that. So I chose this place for, like I said, 2 biggest reasons being the ones I just mentioned. And honestly, the floor to ceiling windows I love, and the wraparound balcony is so cool. So and honestly, it's the biggest place I visited out of all of the places, and I'm really excited to have the space. I have lived in a studio for a very long time now, and I've gotten used to it, and it's fine, it's served its purpose, but I'm really excited to finally have like a place. It has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a very spacious living room. Like, it's gonna be such an adjustment, but it's so exciting. So yeah, so I'm gonna, take you guys along for the journey. So wanted to share all those updates with you guys. And for those of you that have reached out with just really supportive and sweet messages, know that I really appreciate you guys and your kind words. All right, stop number 1. I did not put any makeup on. Disregard this bare face. So I am at the bank and I'm getting ready to get a check, and it's basically for like the deposit for my condo. So I'm not going to act like an expert home buyer here because this is the first time I've ever bought property, but I just kind of wanted to like take you guys through the process. So my realtor sent me this email last night of like with all of these dates of things I have to like have done by certain times. So this is the first thing on the agenda. I have like 3 days to get my check and deliver it to the title company, like for my deposit. So I'll be putting 20% down on my condo, and then this amount will go, the amount for the deposit that I'm getting today is going to go towards that. So have to deliver that to the title company when they're open on Monday. So yeah, first step, got to go into the bank and get a check. All right, check secured. All right, currently headed over to my new place to meet with the guy who's doing the inspection. So I'm excited. I'm gonna get you guys some video footage. I'm just excited to see my place again. So let's head over there. I have thoroughly enjoyed that I can literally walk to my new place because it is saving me so much time, especially when I have to like go over for these little things like the inspection. So I love that I can just like walk over. So, okay, this is really funny. I'm talking kind of quiet because I'm in the hallway waiting to be let into my unit, but apparently the inspector, my realtor, just called me and said the inspector inspected the wrong condo. I don't know how that happens. There's 2 different buildings, so I'm assuming he accidentally did the unit, but it was in the other building, like my same unit number, but in the other building. So I'm waiting for him. That is so funny though. I don't know if he inspected a unit that like somebody was living in. I don't understand how that happens, but I'm just currently waiting to just say hello, meet him before I kind of go in there, and then I'll probably let him do his thing because I know technically I don't need to be here for the inspection, but figured since I could walk over, it was, it didn't hurt to just kind of come, introduce myself, and see it again. All right, so we've got 2 bathrooms. 2 bedrooms, bathroom in here, bedroom number 2, and then we've got the real part. All right, this was definitely the selling feature for me, these windows. Oh, so pretty. Can be cooking my meals. I'm gonna get a nice cozy couch. TV, gotta figure out how I'm gonna like design all of this, which I'm excited for. Okay guys, so just got back from the inspection. I did not stay the entire time. I felt so bad for the guy though. He was so sweet, but I can't believe he inspected literally another apartment. Apparently it was the same number as my unit. It was just in the other building. So I don't know how that happens, but anyways, I just introduced myself, walked around a little bit, got the video footage, and then I walked back to my place because I do have some calls. But I'm gonna wrap up this video, and I know this was a different YouTube video. I didn't really like talk much about what I normally talk about, bodybuilding, stuff like that, but I'm really excited for this venture. And you know, I am one of those people, I tend to be a little bit more private with like this type of stuff. Like when I bought my car a couple years ago, I was so proud about that, but I never like shared it because I never want to come across as being like showy. That is not the type of person I am. I'm very frugal with a lot of things and I save a lot. And this is definitely a moment like that I have saved for a very long time, and I just never wanted to come across as being showy. But I do want to just kind of take you guys along through this process because I think it's kind of fun. And I'm really excited because I have lived in a studio apartment for several years now, and I've gotten very used to just a small space. My studio, it's a big studio, but like still it's small. It's like 600 square feet. I've gotten used to it. It's fine. It's fit my needs. But this is going to be such an adjustment because like just looking at my studio alone literally is the size of like the living room and the kitchen in my new place, which is like half, like, so my new place is going to be about double the size of my current place now. So it's going to be such an adjustment, and I'm only taking my bed with me. And while I have my bed and my Peloton, I'm throwing out my couch because I've had this couch for like 6 years. We need something new. So I'm literally going to be designing it from the ground up, and I'm super excited about that too. So I definitely am going to be watching my HGTV to get inspo, but I'm excited to like give you guys a full little house tour, but also take you guys, you know, along for the process of designing and just the rest of this process. So the inspection is today, and then after this, we've got some like the financing side of stuff that, you know, I gotta figure out, well, not figure out, but just gotta get all that in place, and then tentatively closing on the place on the 15th. So of not July, August. So yeah, it's all happening fast, but I'm excited to take you guys along for the journey, and I really appreciate everybody's support too. I've gotten some really kind comments, and again, I kind of hesitated at first like sharing this because I never want to come across as being like showy. Not that I feel like I am, but you know, I don't know. But anyways, this was a big investment for me, a good positive investment. It's going to definitely be something that is very smart for me long term. And yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have stuck around for this long, thank you. And more condo content to come, but first I've got another very exciting video next, so stay tuned for that.